Okay, grade 5, welcome back to the second term. This is the first science session that we will start by a summary. Inshallah, in this term, we will work from the unit number 3. This is the book number 3 of our science book. This is the third part. This unit is titled Interacting Earth Systems. Interacting Earth Systems refers to concept 3.1. This is Hydrosphere and Biosphere interactions. Hydrosphere and Biosphere interactions. We will study the hydrosphere and the biosphere and the other systems, and we will know what they mean and what are the interactions between them. Do you remember when we talked about the ecosystem? We said that the ecosystem includes all the living things and the non-living things in an area. Yes, this is the ecosystem. So there are some interactions between the living things and the non-living things. Like when we studied plants, plants are living things. The plants need water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight in order to make their own food, in order to grow. So this is an interaction between living things and the non-living things. So over time, by observing many living and non-living things on Earth, these things interact with their environment and with one another in a number of ways. Yes, for sure. Scientists have settled on 4 major categories to sort objects and phenomena into common groups or systems. So the scientists, they studied all the interactions between the living things and the non-living things in an ecosystem, and they found out that there are 4 major categories to sort all these objects. The word phenomena here means any natural event that take place. These 4 systems make up the Earth system. So these 4 systems make up the Earth system. Let's look at these 4 systems. The first one to your left, it is called Geosphere. Geosphere. If there is any strange or new word or scientific term, I need you to repeat it after me. It is called Geosphere. Geosphere, also known as lithosphere. Lithosphere. The word or the term litho means ground or land. The term litho means ground or land. So this have to do with all the things that are related to the ground. Contains things such as rocks, minerals, landforms, soil, also the molten rocks inside Earth. So all things that are related to rocks, minerals, landforms, soils, and the molten rocks inside Earth, this is the lithosphere or the geosphere, as you can see right here. Then we move to the second one. It is called hydrosphere. Hydrosphere. Hydrosphere, the word or the term hydro means water. So this system or this part have or are related to anything related to water. It contains all the water on Earth, such as oceans, rivers, groundwater, and the glaciers. It's hydrosphere. The word hydro means water. It contains all the water on Earth, such as oceans, rivers, groundwater, and also glaciers. Then we move to the next one. It's called the atmosphere. You might be familiar with this one, atmosphere. Atmosphere. The word atmo means air or gas. This is all the gases that surround our planet Earth. The atmosphere contains all gases that surround Earth. We call these gases air because the air is a mixture of many kinds of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and other gases. This is the atmosphere related to the air. Then the last one, it is called biosphere. Biosphere, because the term bio means life. So it have something to do with all the living organisms. Biosphere contains all the living things, including humans. These are the 4 systems that make up our Earth system. The first one, it is lithosphere or geosphere, related to soil, rocks, minerals, landforms, and also the molten rocks. Then hydrosphere related to all the water bodies on Earth, oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, and glaciers. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is related to all the gases that surround the Earth. Also, biosphere includes all the living things, including humans. These are the four systems. So, Adnan,
Yes, Mister.
yes, can you tell us what is meant by geosphere or lithosphere?
It means ground or land.
Continue, please.
It contains things such as rocks, minerals, landforms, soil, and molten rocks inside
Thank
the earth.
you. Thank you. Okay. Zaid,
Yes, mister.
what do we mean by hydrosphere?
We mean hydrosphere, it means water. That it contains all the water on Earth, such as ocean, river, groundwater, and glaciers.
Excellent, thank you. Okay. Omar Abdel Hafiz, what is the atmosphere?
Atmosphere is everything that contains air and gas and all the gases in the world.
Excellent, thank you. Muhammad Ashraf, what about the biosphere?
A biosphere means bio means life, contains all elements, contains all living organisms, including humans.
Excellent, guys. Thank you very much. Let's move to the next page. It says interacting Earth's spheres. Spheres means these are like systems. Geosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. Let's see how these systems interact with one another. Okay. The first one, Earth's hydrosphere. We are talking about water right now, interacts with the geosphere when erosion and the lake formation happens. So the Earth's hydrosphere interacts with the geosphere when erosion and the lake formation happens. You know the erosion, this is when parts of Earth started to melt down or started to be washed away due to the flow of water. Okay, then Earth's atmosphere, we are talking about the air, interacts with the biosphere. Yes, when the plants give off water and gases as waste products. Also, when other animals breathe, they take in the oxygen from the air. These are interactions between the air and the living things. The interaction between the atmosphere and the biosphere. Then we move to the Earth's geosphere interacts with the biosphere. The geosphere, which is the land, the soil, and the biosphere. This is related mainly to plants, or this is the easiest one, when the soil provides nutrients for plants. Then what about the Earth's hydrosphere that interacts with the Earth's biosphere? We are talking about living things and water. When animals and plants live in the water or use it for their basic needs, many animals live in the bodies of water, like fish, for example. They rely on the underwater environment for shelter. Yes, they take the underwater environment as a house or shelter. Other animals, including humans, need water to survive. The animals drink water. The plants rely on water also to grow. This is very easy. In each of these phenomena, there is an exchange of energy and matter. So this diagram right here tells us, or it shows how the interactions take place. As you can see, the atmosphere, biosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. So between each two circles or each two spheres, there is interaction among both of them. Also, they all interact with each other at the same time. So let's look at the atmosphere and the hydrosphere, for example. Gases for respiration, circulation, mood, temperature, and weather. Okay. Also, the hydrosphere, water for life, erosion of lithosphere, and the weather. Erosion, we said that erosion is when the land, like it is cut or eroded, it is like losing small pieces of the soil itself while the water rush into it. Then what about lithosphere? Erosion, salts for oceans, soil for plants, and holds water for future use. Yes, the lithosphere, the soil. You know, when you irrigate a plant or provide plants with water, then the soil hold on to this water for some time to support the plant with this water later, right? Then biosphere. Biosphere, we are talking about life, respiration, photosynthesis, decomposition. Do you remember the decomposers? Organic matter, erosion of lithosphere, and uses of water. This is by the biosphere. Yes, the living things, they breathe, they have respiration, and the plants, they are living things that make photosynthesis. Also, the decomposers, they are living things that break down the dead plants and animals and provide the organic matter, the nutrients back to the soil. Also, erosion of the lithosphere and uses of water. Also, the animals and the plants use water. Okay, let's move to the next part. The importance of water for life on Earth. The importance of water. Now we are talking about the hydrosphere. What is the importance of water for life on Earth? Water supports all forms of life on the planet. Yes, this is for sure. Water is the basic need of every life form on Earth. Yes, it is one of the most important substances that are needed for the plants and the animals. Why? Do you remember the plants? The plants need water. The plants rely on water in order to grow. All the plants need water to grow. Many animals that live in the bodies of water, they rely on the underwater environment for shelter, like fish, like any other living things that live in the ocean. Other animals, including humans, we have a variety of things to do with water. We need water to survive. We drink water. Human beings use water for drinking, washing, cleaning in agriculture industries and factories. Can you see all these are uses of water by humans? So can anyone give us some examples of water uses for humans? Come on, guys, I need someone to help me. From this picture, I need you to tell me what are, or give us some examples about water uses. Mahmoud Riyad.
The bath.
Like bathing, excellent, thank you. Omar Shinawi.
In irrigation.
In irrigation, excellent, thank you. Muaz.
Washing cars.
Washing cars, great. Kareem.
Yes, Mister.
Kareem, I can't hear you. Can you speak louder, please? Kareem, I think there is a problem in your microphone, so check it and I'll be back. Thank you. Malik Mahmoud. Malik. Malik.
Yes, Mister.
Yes.
Water support.
Water sports. Excellent. Thank you. Abdullah Muhammad.
Yeah, Mr. Washing floor.
Washing the floor. Thank you. Lawrence.
Yeah, mister. We need the water for the swimming.
For swimming. Excellent. Thank you. So all these are different uses of water in our daily life activities, like drinking, washing clothes, for plants and trees. Also the kitchen work, we use it for hydropower or generating power from water. Building constructions, it needs water. The water transport, water sports, and extinguishing fire, the cleaning floor, irrigation and aquatic life, washing cars, fountains, industrial use, swimming, washing utensils, and bathing. All these are different uses of water that's why we need it in our daily life. Okay, guys, then let's move to the next part. This is page number 4. It says our blue planet. Yes, our planet is mostly blue. If you have ever watched any photos of our planet Earth from space, you'll find that it looks like a blue marble because it is almost or more than 70% of our planet Earth is covered in water. Look, Earth is the only planet that we know of that is covered with so much water. Over two-thirds or more than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered in water. Okay. Water changes shape as it moves from place to place. What this sentence means? Water changes shape as it moves from one place to place. Okay, imagine that you have water in your bottle. Okay, so it takes the shape of the bottle. If I asked you to pour some of this water into a different smaller cup, then the water will take the shape of this cup. Then if I asked you to put this water in a balloon, it will take the shape of the balloon. This is what is meant by water changes shape as it moves from place to place. Okay, most of the Earth's surface is covered by water. We said that over two-thirds or more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Okay, oceans are a necessary resource. Yes, because we get some fish to eat from the oceans and we get some salts from the oceans, and also we can use it for hydropower. So this is a necessary source. Necessary means it is vital or important. It's a must. Resource is anything that is useful to us. Oceans have salt water. Yes, when I go to the ocean or swim in the sea, I feel that it is salt water, right? Whereas lakes, rivers, and streams have fresh water. This is not salted water. Water ecosystems, they are called aquatic ecosystems. Aquatic means they are related to water from the word aqua, that means water. Aquatic ecosystems, these are the water ecosystems. Okay, there are many different types of aquatic ecosystems. Let's see. Now we will talk about the salt water and the fresh water. I need you to pay attention, please, because this is very important. It have a lot of definitions, and this would be our last part of today. Let's see, the salt water, like oceans and seas, the salty water or the salty oceans cover 97% of the Earth's surface. Actually, do you remember when we said that the Earth's surface is more than 70% water? Okay, out of this 70%, 97% of the water on Earth is salt water. Again, when we talked about our planet, we said that more than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Now we are talking about the whole water on Earth. 97% of the water on Earth is salt water, while only 3% of the water in the Earth's hydrosphere is fresh water. Can you imagine that? Okay. Ocean ecosystems include shallow areas. The word shallow means it is not very deep. These are the places on the shores where you can swim and small boats can move. This is the shallow area, not very deep, such as the coral reefs, the areas that have coral reefs like these colorful things, and intertidal zones. Intertidal zones. What is the intertidal zone? Let's see. Intertidal zones or zone is the area between the high tide and low tide. What does this mean? Okay. You must have gone to the beach during the day and at night, for once even in your life. So what you have noticed is that during the night or at special time of the night, the water started to move forward into the land for few centimeters or few meters. Then after some or after few hours, the water get back to its normal position or even get more than this. So the area between the area that become covered with water at part of the day and become exposed out of the water at another part of the day, this area is called the intertidal zones. It is in between the area of high tide when the water moves forward on land and the area of low tide when the water gets back to its normal position. This is called the intertidal zone. Okay, also the oceans includes the deepest areas. They are called the abyssal zones. Deepest areas, they are called the abyssal zones. The abyssal zone is so deep that the sunlight cannot reach it. Since there is no light, so the temperature is very low. The abyssal zone is with very cold temperatures at the bottom layer and rough currents. The current is the movement of the water itself. It have a rough current means the water moves fast. It is hard to swim in. The ocean contains a great diversity of organisms. Diversity means different types of organisms. Yes, in the oceans, as this picture right here, we can see different types of fish, microscopic and organisms. Also, we can see types of turtles, dolphins, sharks, whales, and so on. This is a great diversity in the ocean. Now let's move to the fresh water. Only 3%, as we said, of the water on Earth is fresh water. The freshwater ecosystems include number one, glaciers. Glaciers or glaciers. Okay, look at this picture right here. You must have seen this before in a National Geographic Channel or Animal Planet, the huge icebergs or the huge pieces of ice that are floating on the North Pole and the South Pole, right? These are called the glaciers, massive pieces of slow-moving ice. Yes, and we have lakes. We all know the lakes. This is a body of water surrounded by land. This is the lake, a steady body of water surrounded by land, and it is often fresh, but sometimes salty. And we have ponds. Ponds are like small, very small lakes, a small body of water formed naturally or by artificial means. These ponds can be made in nature or can be man-made. Okay? In many ponds and lakes, the water is present all the year. Other ponds and lakes dry up in hot summer. So, in many ponds and lakes, the water is present in the lake most of the year or almost all time. But sometimes the water dry up in hot summer. And we have something called runoff. Look at this one. This is the runoff. This is the place where the water started to move very fast. Runoff water from rain or snow that moves into rivers or into the ground. A river, like the Nile River, for example, the water that flows from an area of high altitude to an area with lower altitude in a definite channel. Okay, what is meant by high altitude and lower altitude? Imagine that now we are on the surface of the earth and there is a mountain in front of you. So at the top of the mountain, this is the elevation, this is the high altitude, the high elevation above the sea level or the earth's surface, and the place where we are standing, this is the lower altitude. When it rains over a mountain, the water will not stay on the top of the mountain, right? It will start to move down from the higher altitude at the top of the mountain to the lower altitude where we're standing at the sea level. Rivers and streams usually flow into lakes and oceans. Yes, rivers and streams usually flow into lakes and oceans. Then this is a river, as you can see. This is the ocean. Now we will move to another part, which is called the groundwater. These are the pockets that are filled with water below the Earth's surface. Okay, groundwater, water that fills billions of tiny spaces underground. And we have something called aquifer. Aquifer. What is the aquifer? Look here. This is the groundwater. The aquifer is the place below the groundwater. Let's see. Aquifer is a mixture of gravel, these are small rocks, and large rocks, and sand. They are mixed together. They are found beneath the groundwater that store large amounts of fresh water. It supplies the fresh water to the springs and also the wells. So imagine that you have a body of water, like you have made like a hole or a small pond, and you filled it with water. Will the water stay only in the pond, or it will move to the soil below it? It will move to the soil. The soil will become like mud, right? Because it holds on to water. And the last one is called the estuaries. Estuaries. Look at this picture right here. This is an estuary where the river pour or meet the ocean or a sea or a lake. So this part here have a mixture of fresh water from the river and salt water from the ocean or the sea, right? Estuaries, they are ecosystems found along the edges of the ocean, have a mixture of salt water from the ocean and the fresh water from the river, right? Temperature, salinity, and the current determine the organisms that can live in the estuary. Yes, the temperature of the water will control which organisms will live in this part. Also, salinity. Salinity means the amount of dissolved salts in the water, and the current, the direction of the movement of water. All these will determine what are the organisms that will live in the estuary ecosystem. Here we will stop at page number 5, and in the next period we will start by page number 6, moving to page number 7. Okay, guys.